Welcome and thank you for being here.
I'm really nervous. My name is Faith Anderson, and first I want to tell Judge Picorni I'm honored for her to ask me to come here and speak to you guys, and I want to thank you guys for having the Behavioral Health Court and the Drug Court. My son was involved in the Behavioral Health Court, so I'm partial to that one. So my story, I guess I'll start with that. In 2021, in February, I don't know if you read the headline about the man who drove a woman into the lake. That was me and my son. And that was part of his mental health issues and the struggles that he had been having for several months before that. My son had never been in trouble with the courts, and he ended up being arrested and was incarcerated and was ordered to go to Larned. And he waded through all of that, finally went to Larned and came back. And I had been talking with the DA, begging her to figure out something to not put my son. My son was facing, I think, 15 years in prison, and his charge was second-degree attempted murder. I think that's what it was. And so luckily, with the approval of everyone involved in the behavioral health court and the referral from the DA, my son was accepted into the behavioral health court program, and he successfully completed that in, I think it was 13 months, I think. And he was accepted in December of 2022, and he graduated February, the day after Valentine's Day, from the program. And he's grateful. He's at work today, or he probably would have been here as well. And I just want to say thank you for letting this program be here. And if I could say anything that would I kind of lost my train of thought. If there's anything that I could say that would keep that here, if it was ever to go away, I don't know if it would. I know Douglas County is the only one of the 2 counties in Kansas that has this program, and I think that's special. And I don't want to ever see it go away. I think more counties should have this program. And I think that's all I have to say.
Thank you. We really appreciate it.
Okay.
I'd also point out that her son started college at Johnson County Community College. How far has he gone since? He was doing that while he was in behavioral health court, in addition to having a part-time job.
Right. I have to mention all that good stuff.
Yeah, but he's a success. Yes, and his mother was with him at every court appearance.
Everyone, until he started going to Johnson County, and then he did Zoom.
That's true. He did Zoom in for a while. Thank you so much for coming. And I have one more. Brenda Clary is here, and Brenda was serendipitously contacted by a former client of hers who was in behavioral health court, who wrote her a very moving email about how grateful she was for that program. So go ahead, Brenda.
I'm primarily here to read the statement. However, I have to say, this young woman is special to me because she introduced me to behavioral health court. I was appointed to represent her before I was involved, and I thought, she might be a good fit. So she and I went to a behavioral health court docket. It happened also to be a graduation. And to this day, that's probably the best graduation I've ever seen. I applied for the next opening. Judge Picorni was kind enough, despite my apparent lack of qualifications, to accept my enthusiasm as enough to put me on the defense panel. And Jennifer Potter was my first client into behavioral health court and my first that I had all the way through. And she graduated, I should have looked up the date. It's been a couple of years ago. And she, I'm sorry? Well, she came in about 5 years ago. She was in for quite a bit, yeah, less than 2 years. So it's been a good 3 years. So May 3rd, I get this text from her and she just spills all of this gratitude for the program. I asked if she could be here today. She's currently at Fort Hays State University, both employed and as a student. That was not possible, but she sent me this statement. When I was first arrested, I was barely 20. I had just flunked out of college. I was jumping between minimum wage jobs, had no car, and had even been evicted from my apartment. I had unchecked mental health issues and was in an incredibly toxic relationship that neither of us would end. Every single aspect of my life felt unstable, which created stress and anxiety that snowballed out of control with each passing day. Now, 5 years later, I have a long-term job as a senior administrative assistant at Fort Hays State University. On top of working full-time, I have re-enrolled in college to obtain a graphic design BFA with the hopes of an MFA after that. I will graduate debt-free due to the tuition assistance benefit I receive as a university employee, as well as the scholarships I've been awarded from faculty nominations and student honors exhibitions. I volunteer regularly and have found joy in my hobbies again. I am the happiest and healthiest I've ever been, both physically and mentally. I've discovered a level of stability I've never known before. Recently, I've been reflecting on how much life has changed in the last 5 years, and I've recognized that this growth would not have been possible without the Behavioral Health Court of Douglas County. While in Behavioral Health Court, I met an amazing team of people who showed me that I could be a much better version of myself if I put in some time and effort. While the expectations were strict, it was the kind of structure that I desperately needed. I had a support system that I would not have had otherwise. The BHC team held me accountable with therapy and medication management appointments, which was integral to my success. For the first time in my life, I was able to go to therapy consistently since I had no financial hurdle in the way. I was able to dissect how my upbringing in and out of foster care was affecting the ways in which I thought, processed emotions, and reacted to the things around me. Understanding was the first step to changing. It was so beneficial to my improvement that I continued therapy even after I was done with BHC. In addition to working on the underlying issues, the team pushed me to start considering my future. I had to make plans to improve my financial security, housing stability, and employment. They helped me break these seemingly impossible goals into smaller, achievable steps. Most importantly, the BHC team made me feel human. I wasn't another case number to get through as quickly as possible. They cared about me and wanted to hear what I had to say. To them, I wasn't worthless. I wasn't a lost cause. They saw a potential where I didn't and put time and energy into fostering that potential until I could see it for myself and wanted to continue to grow on my own. Behavioral Health Court was a turning point in my life, and being in the program has continued to affect my life in positive ways, even long after leaving the program. I genuinely don't believe I would be where I am now without the program and the amazing team behind it.
Thank you for sharing that.
So we have two drug court graduates here today. One, I just want to recognize Hope. Hope, if you don't mind waving. Hope graduated in October of 2023, and Hope is an outstanding person in a lot of ways, and she does a ton of stuff in the community to give back. But one of the reasons we asked her to be here, and she was kind enough to do that, is that Hope is president of our alumni group, which is something we're really excited about, so that even when folks graduate from the program, they can remain connected and all those things. So Hope is the president of our alumni group. So please make sure you say hi to Hope and chat with her. Then we also have Tim. Tim is here. Tim, do you mind coming on up? Tim has agreed to speak with you. He graduated in April of 2024. Also an amazing person who's doing great things. And so I know you'll enjoy hearing from him.
Thank you, Tim, and good to see you again.
Hi. Hello, everyone. My name is Timothy Shoulderblade. I am currently 32 years old and one of Drug Court's alumni. I graduated the program in April, on April 5th. And I'd like to start by saying thank you for giving me the opportunity to share my journey through the program with you and what an incredibly positive impact it's had on my life. I'm an alcoholic and an addict. I've used meth since I was 13 and alcohol since I was 9. Right now, I currently have 1 year, 7 months, and 19 days clean. This is by far the longest time I've ever had clean. I first came to Lawrence from Kansas City due to a homeless shelter in Kansas City being shut down, being that it was only a winter shelter. I came to Lawrence with the hopes of getting into the shelter here, but it was denied. Around that time, I was drinking about 4 to 5 half gallons of vodka a day and doing best to not get too drunk and drinking to not get too strung out, and it ended up catching some charges, which landed me in jail. I sat about 7 months in jail. I went to treatment during that time. After I was released, I went to Artists Helping the Homeless, where I was approached by the reentry team who suggested that I apply for the drug court program. After a few weeks, I was accepted and I had no idea what I was in for, but I was ready for a change. After meeting the team, when the judge accepted my plea and entered me into drug court, I immediately knew these people really wanted me to succeed and cared very much about their participants in their recovery. Upon entry into the drug court, I was advised of the resources that were available to me and how to go about utilizing those resources. The judge immediately helped me set goals, and the rest of the team helped me by laying out a roadmap, but always let me know that nobody's going to work harder on my recovery in my life than I am. I had a DUI in 2009 and thought my driver's license was out of reach for the longest time until the drug court attorney, Dakota Loomis, reached out to Oklahoma, set up a court appearance, and let me know what I needed to do to get my license back. Today I have my driver's license and my first car that's actually in my name. And as I stated, I am 32 years old. I'm a high school dropout. Judge and Shannon Brugge advised me of getting my education, how that would open so many doors for me. During the drug court time, I was able to get my GED, and it did just that for me. I now work for Artists Helping the Homeless, and I just finished my freshman year at Haskell studying social work with a 3.8 GPA. And I'm able to put to good use everything I've learned in drug court, which is such as self-accountability, time management. I will continue to support this vital program because it gives a chance to flourish, keeping in mind that everyone deserves a second chance, and drug court can provide the tools necessary for success. Thank you.
And I believe, Tim, you brought someone with you.
Yes, that's my wife, Anita.
Thank you for being here, too.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
And we're open for questions if you have any more.
My question is silly, but I just don't know why we don't applaud in our county commission meetings. I mean, thank you all for sharing your stories. That's so powerful, and thank you for being here today. I think so often what we work on here seems very policy-based, and it's really great to hear stories that we can understand how it's impacted members of our community, how members of our community are giving back through these programs. So just want to applaud that and thank you for that gift today to us. Thank you.